We don't only look backwards, we don't only look forwards. We must look backwards and forwards because that is what our present is. There are 3 stages: past, present, and future. The present consists only of looking at the past and planning for the future. That's what that's about. In our case, it means planning for the future with a clear view of the past, taking from the past all the strengths, and remaining devoted to the sacred elements that we derive from it in order to build a solid future.
The desire to make use of the past can sometimes shape our assessment of the past.
The approach to history should be what I call a liberal approach. And what I mean by that is something that opposes an illiberal approach, which is to say what we're seeing in the practice of history, teaching of history, particularly Howard Zinn, the 1619 Project, is to look back on the past in condemnation. And for all the egregious wrongs that have happened in American history, Zinn and the 1619 Project would dismiss our past. They would have us forget it, or they would collect all the offenses against our humanity and collect that in a catalog and pass that off as history, which is not history. History is the study of change in a society moving in time. And history is also the study of the whole history. So we're talking about a community of the dead, the living, and the yet to be born.
We're missing the parts of the past that would challenge us the most, that would call into question and require us to rethink what we believe and how we live and who we are when we invent these myths. Because the reality is myths are almost always the projections of what we already believe. The past often has these surprises, these things that even shock us, that jolt us out of our own frame of reference. And they really are the parts of the past that have the potential to change us in ways that can be, transforming.
So to cut off our past is to cut off who we are. And if we lose a sense of who we are, well, that's a terrible thing. It's like a man who's forgotten who he is through some kind of malady or through a terrible set of circumstances where he just doesn't know who he is anymore. He can't relate to people.
Early Americans, people in the 50 years following the Revolution and founding, were very concerned to preserve the memory of those events and saw those events as central to their own identity as Americans.
Try to put yourself back in that imaginary, understand them on their own terms, and to understand the Puritans, who are usually kind of dismissed as, bigots and so on and so forth. That really only is a way of stereotyping and thereby easily dismissing them. Because, of course, they had a great impact on history and especially on American history.